Like right now in my company, I'm starting to, since I'm pretty inspired and passionate about this new position, I'm trying my best, and I mean, I'm trying to make, let's say, something like a purpose on the company, be
Okay, nice.
someone. So
Okay, nice, nice.
yeah. So in the company allows you to have that possibility that you can make a change.
Miguel, thank you very much for the first part of this interview where we talked more about your technical interview process and in general the process also with us. Now we are here in Hamburg. As you can see, it's a beautiful weather. People are outside on the water, in the park, enjoying life. How is life for you in Hamburg?
To be honest, like with this weather, it feels like Costa Rica. But I know that eventually it's going to get colder.
Unfortunately, yes.
But I mean, the life in Hamburg is really great. It's really green, so it's really beautiful. I always walk to my to my to my place. Sorry. By foot, because I do exercise, and also having these nice views. Uh, One thing that I could say that it could be a little bit expensive, I would say, in terms of life costs, but I mean, your salary will adapt to that. So maybe for people that comes from other sides of the world can feel that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the life here is really nice.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to living costs in general, it also depends where you stay. That is happening, and that's the case in Hamburg, but also in other cities like Berlin, Munich. The further you move outside, the cheaper it gets.
Yes.
I guess that's maybe also the place where you found. Um, when we look back, what was the initial motivation actually for you to come to Hamburg, or like say to Germany? Huh?
Sure. Well, since I was really little, I always liked Germany for some reason. I don't know, maybe football or and then when I was in my early years in software engineering, I was having this platonic dream maybe to work in Europe.
Okay.
And since I already, like Germany and learn about history and philosophy, which a lot of philosophers are German, by the way, it got me into this idea. Oh, maybe I could work in Germany. So because I'm, a little bit related to the country. So yeah, I would say that in my personal case, it was not really about monetary reasons, but again, it was for professional purposes and also for life, well, let's say personal things. So, I mean, I've been pretty motivated to be here. So,
Nice.
if you have a personal motivation, of course, you're going to give your best, and
Of course, you
succeed.
would need an intrinsic motivation.
Yes.
And what would you say stands out here if you compare life Costa Rica and Germany or Hamburg? What really is the biggest difference, maybe?
I would say taxes.
Texas, okay.
Taxes is something interesting because, yeah, of course, that's one of the things that people should realize, right? That not every single part of the world the taxes are treated the same, and here you have also insurances for almost everything, right? So you need to understand that. But I mean, other than that, life here is pretty calm. People are really nice. Like the place is great. So I would say in terms of the people, it's pretty great. But then again, you need to realize, so like the basics of what it takes to be in Germany, right?
Okay,
The expenses, like taxes, insurances, bank accounts, like a lot of stuff that I used not to care about in Costa Rica. Now I have to, be aware of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think this is also when you move to a new place, you always need to get somehow along with a new environment and
Yes.
so on. It takes time, but at
Like
the end
the
you will
Anmeldung,
find out.
like-
Anmeldung and
yes.
so on, registration. And Miguel has, after our recording here, actually a German class. How is your German processing?
In my case, interesting enough, I used to study German 2 years ago
Okay.
for around 2 years. Maybe back then my level of German was A1. But since I haven't used it since a long time, because in Costa Rica no one talks German, I mean, I need to remember all the stuff that I used to study. So By the way, right now after this meeting, I will have to go to my German classes because I have them on Tuesday, and thankfully the company pays for it. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So you have the classes at the office?
Yes.
Okay.
They offer the classes on.
But work at the office is like the English? How's the work
Yes.
environment in general?
Yes. So of course, well, in my case, I have a pretty international company. So there's a lot of people around the world, like a lot from, let's say, I would say from, let's see, Croatia. From Latin America, there's only me, another person. A lot of Europeans, a lot of people from the Middle East, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everyone talks in English because that's the language that we should use. But I mean, if you can talk your natural, like your mother language there, you can. But so I would say that it is fine to me. I mean, it is nice. I really know how to talk in English. So if you want to be here, well, English is really a good way to, find jobs. So
Yeah, and do you have the feeling that in order to get along here in Hamburg, do you need German, or is English you can make like enjoy life also with only speaking English?
I think that, interesting enough, you need German. Like you can find, let's say, people that talk English, but for example, things like talking to the cashier in the supermarket, maybe they only talk Deutsch. So you have to be aware of that not all people can talk English. There are some help, let's say, sometimes in the buses where the announcements are being in English, but not necessarily always. So I would say that, yeah, you can survive with English, because I know coworkers that they have been working here for 3 years and they don't know German.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to have like easy, please learn German, because it's frustrating sometimes not able to communicate with someone.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I mean, if you want to stay long term here, I think it's also good to just get along with
Yes.
German. Also, if you travel around, maybe some rural areas where you definitely don't find too many people that speak English, but still, you say English, you can survive
Yes,
here.
you can survive totally. It's a matter of which place you are. Like I would imagine that Berlin is really international, so maybe in different parts of Germany it's not so common to talk English, but in other parts it is. So.
And when we have if we compare again life here with Costa Rica, you mentioned taxes, but like in general, the daily structure.
Yes.
How many hours do you work at the office, for example? How is the work environment? How is your work life from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? How is your day structured?
In my specific case, my previous job was more chill, in the sense that I had to do less work because I was more experienced in the things that I did. But I would say, in average, I would say it is the same. A 9 to 5 schedule is really normal. You can get, well, in my case, in my company, you can get little benefits, like maybe each Monday there is a bagel breakfast where the company buys bagels for you.
Okay.
And Friday there's beer Friday, so you can drink beer afterwards. So of course it will come specifically to the company that you're working on, but I would say that structure-wise, Germany is pretty modern, in the sense that in terms of tech is like what is expected in my perception of how a tech company should behave. So yeah, I mean, it is nice. If I would say that.
Okay.
The standards.
And the interaction with colleagues, with the CEO, the how you approach challenges.
Yes.
Is that different here?
Yes,
like in such
I would
a
say
diverse
that.
team, for
Yes,
example?
I would say that not necessarily because of diversification, but how the Germans are in the culture, that you have to be direct with what you say and what you think. So maybe in Costa Rica, maybe are more polite and more, go around about the subject instead of just going to the point.
I think that is what you also somehow learned in our program already, huh?
Yeah.
Like getting straight to the point.
Straight to the point. You don't have to, go around to the thing. You need to go straight and be honest.
Okay, straight to the point. That means, how does it feel for you?
To be honest, I feel fine, because we as software engineers, we are really direct. We deal with logic. We are deal with yes, no, true or false. So it is nice to have this type of clear communication, because at the end of the day, you think about it, it is the best way. Like, if you don't think that something works, you should say it. Then maybe your opinion is valid, and your opinion, no matter what, in my specific case, is always respected. So I would say that it is the best way.
Okay,
to
so
be
that
like
means they appreciate if you show your proactivity, if
Yes.
you jump in where you see possibilities to improve.
Yes.
Okay,
And
that-
I'm really excited about it, because I am ready checking the house. Like right now in my company, I'm starting to, since I'm pretty inspired and passionate about this new position, I'm trying my best, and I'm trying to make let's say something like a purpose on the company, be
Okay,
someone.
nice.
So
Okay, nice.
yeah. So in the company allows you to have that possibility that you can make a change.
Okay, yeah, nice. How big is your team actually?
My team right now is around, I think, 8,
Okay.
but the whole company could be around 200 maybe.
Oh, that it's quite big then. Yeah?
Yes. But like I said, since we are working on teams, it's pretty manageable, because we as a team have our own responsibilities. And every now and then we, of course, gather with the whole company to talk about the vision of, what's the company's purpose and the goals. But yeah, that's what I would expect, from a big tech company to deal these kind of situations, like this type of structure. So
And that means what you found here now is what you also expected, or what they have told you during the process.
yes.
You found the same, yeah?
Yeah, thankfully I haven't been disappointed of my expectations. Everything that I've been doing is what I expected to do. Maybe because of, every single company has its own development. Maybe a startup, a big tech company are different from each other in terms of structures. So I would say, based on what I'm seeing right now, it is like the usual behavior of how a company should behave. So it is nice. I
Nice,
feel
okay, good.
in my comfortable zone, let's say comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Good. Okay, and Miguel, when we look to the network out there, the community out there, who is interested to come to Germany, work here as a software developer, what would be your recommendation to them if they plan their move to Germany?
Sure. I would say that, first of all, you need to be passionate about this, because it's a big step to make a relocation around the world, because you have to basically give up a lot of things. Maybe you have something that you own that you have to sell it, and so be passionate about your decision, that you really want this, because like you guys said, I remember in the courses, the most important thing is about purpose and being passionate and being serious. And you guys said, no matter if you fail and keep failing, if you are passionate, we are going to always to help you. So that's the most important thing, because like I said, I had to wake up for around 2 months or 1 month and a half every time at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. in order to make a job interview, which maybe I will fail,
Exactly, yeah.
So if you're not willing to do that extra step, well, yeah, you should think about it. You need to be like that.
And I remember, you had, I think, around 10, 11, maybe a bit more even,
Yes.
processes running in the pipeline, which is quite good.
Yeah.
Some of them you got rejected also.
Yes.
How did it feel actually when you then had the offer?
It was interesting, because based on that specific point in my life, the last interview that I had was from 3 years ago. So I was really new into the interview process again. And that's the interesting part of software development, that you have to be good at what you do, but you also have to be good at doing interviews. And they are two different things. So I had to polish myself a lot, because at first I started noticing that I was lacking in some theory. So okay, I know what I'm failing. I know that even though my technical skills are good, maybe my theory skills are not. So eventually, once I get more experience to the processes, I start seeing better results. I even got so far to the point where I was doing everything great, but they selecting another, candidate. So it can happen, right? That you are good, but you were too late, or maybe.
And then it's a good learning at least.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say that we as a software engineers are always struggling in job interviews because they ask you for a lot of things that maybe are not some things that you are going to use in your work, but it is theory that you should always know, like data structures, like algorithms, all this kind of stuff that you learn in the university and you forgot to use. So, but I would say that the whole experience, you need to practice and practice and practice and practice. And if you are good at your craft, you will get a job, of course. So
great. Okay, Miguel, thank you very much for your time here. I don't want to stop you getting to learn German. Sehr gut. It was a pleasure talking to you today and be here in Hamburg. Thanks for the invitation. And guys, if you want to come to Hamburg, to Germany, work here, get to know more about our program, let us know, get in touch with us. You find our contact details below that video, and you can get in touch with us and we discuss your case and see if we can also support you. And all the best to you, Miguel. Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.